मंजिलें क्या हैं, रास्ता क्या है, हौसला हो तो फासला क्या है। Namaskar, welcome to Daily PT Pointers. In this video, we are going to cover major headlines of The Hindu, Indian Express and Press Information Bureau. And our first important headline is related to National Multidimensional Poverty Index, a Progress Review 2023. It was recently released by Niti Aayog and it has been prepared based on the latest National Family Health Survey of 2019-2021. It is the second edition of the National Multidimensional Poverty Index and 12 parameters of health, education and standard of living are examined in this index. And according to index, India has registered a significant decline of 9.89 percentage points in the number of multidimensionally poor from 24.85% in 2015-16 to 14.96% in 2019-2021. And according to index, rural areas witnessed the fastest decline in poverty, primarily due to decrease in number of multidimensionally poor in states such as Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Odisha and Rajasthan. Our next article is related to India-UAE local currency settlement system and it is in the news because recently Reserve Bank of India and Central Bank of UAE signed two memorandum of understandings for establishing a framework to promote the use of local currencies for cross-border transactions and cooperation for interlinking their payment and messaging systems. The MOU covers all current account transactions and permitted capital account transactions. Our next headline is related to Cheetah and it is in the news because recently an expert committee charged with managing Project Cheetah has recommended that all animals undergo a thorough medical review because more deaths of cheetahs have been reported last week from Kuno National Park. Now let's know more facts related to Project Cheetah. So friends, it is India's cheetah relocation program and it aims to bring in 5 to 10 animals every year over next decade until a self-sustaining population of about 35 cheetahs is established. It is being implemented by National Tiger Conservation Authority, which is a statutory body under Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, in collaboration with Madhya Pradesh Forest Department, Wildlife Institute of India and cheetah experts from Namibia and South Africa. And do you know friends, Red List of IUCN classifies African cheetah as vulnerable species and Asiatic cheetah as critically endangered species. Our next important headline is based on Black Sea grain deal. Now recently it is in the news because recently Russia has backed out of Black Sea grain deal after a drone struck Russia's only bridge connecting its mainland to the Crimea Peninsula. The deal was brokered by United Nations and Turkey and it was signed in Istanbul in 2022. The deal was aimed to provide for a safe maritime humanitarian corridor for Ukrainian exports, particularly for food grains. But the suspension of Black Sea agreements is likely to lead a spike in food prices as Ukraine is the major exporter of grain, right? Our next important headline is based on Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana-Gramin. And now it is in the news because recently government has withdrawn the allocation of approx 1.44 lakh houses from about 2 dozen states and union territories which failed to sanction the houses and given these to Uttar Pradesh as additional allocation. Now let's know more facts related to Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana-Gramin. So friends, it is being implemented by Ministry of Rural Development and it was started in 2016. It aimed to assist eligible rural households to construct Pakka houses with basic amenities and the initial target was to construct 2.95 crore Pakka houses by March 2024. Initially, the identification of the beneficiaries under the scheme was done based on the socio-economic caste census 2011. But the government in 2019 decided to conduct an Awas Plus survey to accommodate eligible beneficiaries left out by the previous survey. And according to scheme, each beneficiary gets up to 1.2 lakh in the plains and the center and state split funding in 60-40 ratio. Our next important headline is related to BIMSTEC. It is in the news because recently first ever Foreign Ministers meeting of Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation began in Bangkok. And do you know friends, BIMSTEC is a regional organization that was established in June 1997 with signing of the Bangkok Declaration. Initially, it was known as Bangladesh, India, Sri Lanka, Thailand Economic Cooperation, and the organization now known as BIMSTEC, and it comprises 7 member states with admission of Myanmar in 1997 and Bhutan and Nepal in 2004. Our next important headline is related to Namda craft. It is in the news because recently Prime Minister of India has shared an article on revival of Kashmir's century-old Namda craft. Now, what is Namda craft? So friends, it is a rug made of sheep wool through felting technique instead of normal weaving process. But due to low availability of raw material, lack of skilled manpower and marketing techniques, the export of this craft has declined almost 100% between 1998 and 2008. Therefore, Namda craft of Kashmir is being successfully revived under a Skill India's pilot project as a part of Pradhan Mantri Yojana. Our next important headline is related to Advanced Authorization Scheme, which is being implemented by Directorate Journal of Foreign Trade under Foreign Trade Policy, and it allows duty-free import of inputs for export purposes, and the eligibility of inputs is determined by sector-specific norms committee based on input-output norms. Our next and last important headline is related to Export Preparedness Index 2022 because it was recently released by NITI Aayog and it is the 3rd edition. And now it seeks to empower state governments with region-specific insights to assist decision-making, identify strengths, address weaknesses, foster comprehensive growth across states and union territories of India. It evaluates performance of states across 4 pillars, and these are policy, business ecosystems, export ecosystems, and export performance. And according to recent report, coastal states have performed well, with the states of Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, Karnataka and Gujarat being the top performers, right? So with this, let's conclude our today's discussion. Thanks for listening, and for regular updates, you can follow us on various social media platforms.